Hello and welcome to another weekly update. Slightly different setup happening at the moment. We'll see how it goes. I did lots of testing. It was all fine in testing. I went to start it again kind of just before this and errors all over the place. Classic technology. So just if you're interested, like the problems I'm having are mostly rendering and encoding. I'm doing this on a laptop. It's not really made for it. It's not really what it's for. But we'll see. It seems that, I don't know, it just seems sporadic. It seems to get worse over time. So if I drop off halfway through, I'm really sorry. I should be locally recording this as well. So it will appear, but you may just not get it live. Never mind. Anyway, let's talk about all the things that have been happening this week anyway. Lots of things to talk about on this week's update. So where to start? Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is an interview I did, which I've been working on for a little while. It's an interview I did with Mark Vale, who runs Commsverse. So that's interesting because Commsverse has big Microsoft Teams conference planned to start this year. It got pushed back, obviously, because of the coronavirus things. They changed the dates and then eventually had to go online. So I talked through with Mark about all the implications of that, what it meant, how he approached it, what went well, like how they reorged, how they retooled and pivoted to be a different thing, how they didn't want to be just another online conference. So we talked through lots of interesting things, and it was really, really good to talk through. Learned lots and lots of things talking to him as well. So that was a really good. It turned out to be like a massive 45-minute interview as well. So sorry about that, but I tried to edit it. When I was editing it, it just ended up that I wanted to keep all of it, basically. So I've kept the whole 45-minute thing in as it is, completely kind of as it is. But then I've written up some kind of key takeaways that I thought were interesting as well. So yeah, I published that on the blog, so you can go and have a look at that. Interesting. Really interesting talking to Mark. He's very open. He's very direct. He doesn't have any secrets around like the organisation and stuff. He's very very open book with what's going on. And in fact, actually, that leads me on to the next thing I want to tell you about, which is he's just finished writing a 10-part series about. Well, he's got to part 10 anyway. I'm pretty sure 10's the last one. Who knows? He might just carry on. About it, that goes into so much detail about how they planned it, how they organised it, how it's all tied together, all the different technologies that get used, all the way through the user experience. Really, really good. Really great, actually. So I've put the link to that as well in the notes, because if you're thinking of organising an online conference, and there are lots of them around at the moment, then you absolutely should go and check this out, because Commsverse was a really, really good event. There were lots of things that were unique about it. Really, really good. What else to talk about? Okay, yes. So other things that happened this week. I did another interview with Lindsay Ansell, who works at Modality Systems. And we do this kind of semi-regular thing now where we just talk through stuff. It's the kind of softer side of technology. It's the kind of thoughts and feelings stuff. And it's kind of important to talk it through. I find it really useful. And this week we were talking about how do you feel, how do you keep feeling part of a team? When at the moment, actually, it's really hard to feel part of a team because everybody is spread all over the place. We're not meeting up in kind of in the same locations and stuff like that. So it's actually quite hard to feel part of a team. So, what coping strategies are there? What works? What little tricks can you do? How can Microsoft Teams help? Are there kind of things that you can organize if you run a team, if you're responsible for a team? Are there things that you should be organizing, you should be thinking about? So yeah, I thought that was good. So that's all recorded as well and done up as a blog post. All right, a couple more things. I think the stream's all over the place. So if you're watching this on the stream, I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm going to review it and see what it's like. There are some drop frames I can see, like maybe 10% drop frames. So it's going to be a fairly choppy experience, I guess. I don't know why. It's frustrating, but there we go. I don't know. I just need more power, I think. More power. Need new desktop, need new stuff. I'm using the camera I'm using now. So you'll see this on the recording anyway. is a Ava Technologies. It's a Cam 540, which is a conference cam really, but I have it mounted not quite as a conference cam would be, but I have it mounted upside down, but really close. So it's really close to me right now. It's not zoomed in, I can touch it. So I found having it completely zoomed out but really close gives a really nice picture, I think. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to try using it as a webcam, as a vlogging cam, as a cam to do things like this and do interviews and stuff, and we'll see how it works out. Yeah, so that's quite cool. I've been messing around as well with getting the setup right, trying different things. It's the reason that my weekly updates now have that kind of countdown thing at the beginning, because I started doing the live streaming stuff, which I'll kind of want to get more into if I can figure out. Well, maybe I just need to buy a bigger PC or something, because I can't deal with the frame rendering issues and the lag and the choppiness and stuff, which is really frustrating because it works fine in the testing. That's the worst part of it. Anyway, yeah, if I do carry on doing the live streaming stuff, what I really don't like about live streams is that first 30 seconds where it's on, but the person running it doesn't realise it's on. So they're kind of like staring like this and they're clicking, and then suddenly they're like, it's live, we're on. I hate that. So I put that little countdown in first so that I could control the cutover and when I start, regardless of when the stream actually kicks in and starts sending the frames. Yeah, so that's all done using OBS, which I'm falling in love with. It's really, really nice. Every time I come across a kind of a problem, or I want to lay something out a bit differently, it turns out OBS can do it. I just need to do some looking around to find out how. So yeah, very impressed with OBS so far. And let's talk about some more things. So yeah, this is interesting. So I missed this. I think this actually came out more like 10 days ago, but I missed it last week. From Microsoft, within Microsoft Teams, there's going to be, or there is, depending on where you are in the rollout process, a way of kind of bringing together Microsoft Teams and Power Automate. So what this means is, for a while now, at the bottom of the like a chat message, like a message of in a team or a chat, or like in a channel or one-to-one, you can do the click on the ellipsis, the three dots, and get more information. And as a developer, you can put things into that, so you can make these actionable things that happen. So you can write a message extension so that you can click on it, and Polly have one of these, so you can create a poll but from a message, and that's really nice. And if you're a developer, that's been around for quite a long time as a capability you have. What's new is that there's now a nice low-code solution for this, where you can, without having to write any code, you can take that click and you can, from there, you can go and create a flow. So you can execute a Power Automate flow. So that's really nice, because now you can do stuff based on a channel or a chat. So if you want to create a PBI in as your DevOps, I think that already exists as a thing you can do, but maybe you want to do it yourself. So you farm it off to Power Automate, you can write a Power Automate flow to do that. Or maybe you want to throw it into Trello or your own to-do list program or something else, or send an email or do a million other different things. You've now got loads and loads of capability to do that, because it goes into Power Automate and Flow. You don't need to be a developer. You don't need to go and find a developer. You don't need to write a developer solution to do this. So now you can do it all as a kind of a low-code solution, which is really nice. Yeah. So yeah, pretty excited about that, and excited to see kind of how that's gonna, what people are gonna do with it. Really nice. Next thing I want to show you is, so this is good. So this is put out by another MVP who's so one of the things, whose name I've forgotten, but one of the things I did in a couple of minutes before this whole thing started is when I started experiencing all the lag and the frame rate issues and the rendering issues, and I might be about to make them worse, I just closed everything, closed every application. And one of the things I closed was the browser I was going to use to talk through some of this stuff with you, which is kind of a shame, but I thought, I'll figure it out afterwards, but I'm going to close it for now and we'll get through the weekly update without it. But it turns out the rendering lag is happening anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and open this browser, because I do want to show you this stuff. So this is a great blog post by an MVP called David Parker. It's out on the Microsoft Tech community blog, and he's gone into a level, a epic level of detail with Microsoft Visio, all around planning social distancing in the workplace. So social distancing in the workplace, obviously something every office manager is thinking about right now as we think about whether or not to go into offices. The people who have to manage all this office space and stuff have got a real challenge on their hands right now, figuring out how many people can we get in this office building. We thought we could get 100 people in this office building. Actually, how many can we get in now? Where do we put the stickers? Where do we put the signs? Where do we have to put new dividers? Where do we put the desks? Where are the electric points? There's a million challenges to figure out right now. And David's done a really nice job with Visio. I'm just going to show you this. He's got this whole blog post talking about the problem and the things that you could do. But then with all these Visio templates and stuff, talking about how you'd lay it out. He's got some he's got stencils for all the stickers, where you put them. This is a crazy, awesome level of detail. He's sharing out the social distancing stencils. You can see here all these, these are great. If you've got to put one of these together, just go and get this and use David's stencils. Don't try and make your own, because this is really nice. You've got these kind of distancing circles that you can add as well, which is really nice. So you can see here, you've got these overlapping distances circles, so you can make sure that everybody is staying nicely socially distant. As well, you can control the length. You can put the length on there. Barrier screens, there's so much stuff on here. There's a crazy level of detail, and it's really, really good. So I'd really encourage you, if you have this issue right now of office layout and you're trying to figure it out, just go and get this, read through this blog post, because David's done a really nice job of kind of going through all the detail here, and you can come up with something like this that's got all the detail in it about who goes where you go, where you don't go, what the layout now looks like, and yeah, really, really nice. So hats off to David, because I think that's really neat. And I think that's everything. I think that's everything I wanted to talk about this week. It's frustrating about the live stream. I'm going to go and review it, and we'll see what it's like. But apologies. Anyway, it's good fun to play with stuff like this. I'm kind of trying to obviously I'm spending a lot more time streaming stuff out from home rather than, traveling around and talking to people. So I'm trying to kind of invest in that a bit, but obviously without spending loads and loads of money, because, I wish I had loads of money to spend on this stuff, but that's the reality. So we'll see. And this kind of home office continues to sort of take shape. It hasn't really moved on much since. I think the TV was on the wall last time. Still waiting for the units from IKEA. That's kind of all the way. Still wondering what to do with this radiator. I know I talked about it a couple of weeks ago, but at least I've got an awesome webcam set up now, and the mic and stuff. I'm pretty happy with all of that. Might not be quite so happy with the rendering and the graphics workflow process I've got going on, but never mind. We'll see how it pans out. There's always next week, right? All right, so whatever it is you're doing this weekend, I hope you have a great weekend. So on Monday, it's a UK bank holiday, which is great. And I also believe that the US have Labor Day coming up as well pretty soon. So, some time off as well, which would be nice. That's everything from me, I think. Have a great weekend. Whatever